Very excited to have the wonderful Noah Cyrus with us backstage. Thank you. Before we get started with the interview, I listened to you on our sister station's broadcast last week. Absolutely wonderful. I just want to get this out of the way. Can we all just go, fuck?
Here, we'll do it together.
Go,
Ready?
One, two, three.
Fuck!
Okay. And now the interview can appropriately begin. Emily?
Okay, cool. Hello. He told me before this, he was like, I just want to say this one thing. And I listened to the broadcast live, and it was amazing.
Oh my God. I saw my manager in the crowd, and he just got the biggest smile on his face and was laughing the whole time. You can go, Marsh. And was laughing the whole time. I get off stage and I'm like, oh my God, was that live? Hopefully there's a delay. And they're like, no delay.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so if they never play my song on the radio again, we know why.
If anything, people are going to want to hear it more.
And trust me, we have said worse things on the radio, including, actually, I'm very embarrassed that I have to ask you this question because I've listened to you for quite some time. But my other a-hole of a co-host, not him, okay. When I told him the bigger one. No, he's a respectable a-hole.
I'm more of a douche.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he told me, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm interviewing Noah Cyrus today. I'm super excited. And he was like, oh, you have to mention Achy Breaky Heart. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's the last thing that I want to mention.
No one wants, exactly.
Because obviously, you come from such like a musical background and a musical family with your dad, your sister, your brother, and being younger. I know for me, I just started this job as like a radio co-host, and I'm 24. I started when I was 23, and I don't feel overshadowed by people, but it definitely was something where like I had to step up and try to figure out what I was going to be in this industry and differentiate myself from like everybody else that had been there previously. So how did you do it? How did you, like, growing up in an environment like that, be like, I'm going to create my own sound? How did you figure that out and figure out who you were going to be and how to stand out?
Well, I think I really just, like, from the beginning, regardless of what people thought from the outside, from the beginning, it was really important for me to do this all on my own.
No, yeah, totally.
And separate from the very beginning. I mean, I think it took a lot of experimenting with my sound and growing up, but I think out the gate I wasn't like following anybody.
No, yeah.
I really wanted to out of the gate come with a unique, authentic to me, something that's authentic to me. And so, I got into the studio with Labyrinth and we made Make Me Cry, and Make Me Cry was almost like another than, like, it didn't sound like anything else even at the time. So for me, I think, I just follow my gut and whatever. I don't really.
It's very obvious that you are your own person, and
Thank you.
I think it's amazing. You have your own style and everything.
We all are.
Yeah, and then it's fun because I mean I saw that you and your dad did make a song together too, so that looked like a lot of fun and kind of nostalgic.
Yeah, my dad's so inspiring to me and has inspired a lot of this music and a lot of this album. So to have him be a part of it and share the moment with my dad, I was really honored to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think CJ, he was talking about your album, and I know I've heard you say countless amount of times in other interviews about how the album talks about your struggles these last few years. And so when you were writing that, were you kind of scared to release something like that? Because
it's very vulnerable.
That's super vulnerable and very, you
know.
It
was really terrifying, but also I think I thought I really wrote an album that sounds like it's written for my ears only. And so I think I was a little nervous, like, did I go too far? Is this unrelatable? I'm singing with my own name in songs. Like, it's really, so to know other people out there are able to relate and do relate is I'm very grateful. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely daunting to do so.
Yeah, and today you released the acoustic version
Of Unfinished,
of
yeah.
Unfinished, and that's cool that you get to not only take a song that's already vulnerable, but
Sorry, I
now
just
break
whipped
it
you
down
with
even
my
more.
hair.
It's okay. It
He's
looks
like gawking.
magnificent with the fan blowing just gently behind it.
Wow, thanks. I totally just whipped you with it.
It's okay. You can't embarrass me. Last week in the middle of an interview, this chair tipped over backwards.
No way.
And I was just that's why I have my fall risk on today.
Oh
just
my
to
God.
be extra careful.
It's been a weekend, so
Yeah.
for sure. But no, congratulations on releasing that.
Thank you.
And your new album and everything else.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on like some newer versions of a handful of the songs. It was important. There's so many different layers and so many different dynamics within the album, and I feel like there's parts of the album that you only hear if you know it's there, and because you aren't inside all the stems and every single you don't know it's there. So it's really cool. I have a lot of versions of the songs where we're just like bringing out other aspects of the songs that you really wouldn't have been weren't the main focus in the album version. So
Sure.
I'm excited to like go in, and I was like, Mike Crossy, how are we still in the studio working on this album, and it's like released and out in the world, and we're still in the studio like working on these songs.
Yeah.
But it feels good to have them out, and getting new versions out there will be fun.
Yeah. Are you gonna play the acoustic version today?
I don't think so. I mean,
I know it was a very early question since it was just released.
No, you
but
know what? We're at a festival. I'm gonna keep it pretty.
Gotta bring the
yeah,
Yeah,
sound.
you have to keep it pretty loud and
maybe
proud.
maybe at my show tomorrow or Sunday in Nashville. I don't even know what day it is. I know it's Friday because
it's
it's
Friday.
the day
It's
I'm
for sure.
Part of
playing
the tour
ACL.
schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things I think's so important that I learned from kind of a mentor in radio and with myself is just being open about mental health and struggles. And growing up as a sad boy, you didn't get that a lot with the artists we were listening to. Like obviously 9 Inch Nails, I was very like, oh, I know the pain, man. But
it was very loud.
Yeah, and
pain,
you
too.
are very open with something that I think a lot of people try to shove under the rug, and I just think that's amazing. But how do you think that's kind of affected you and your songwriting when it comes to just being like, I have to be me and I have to let these people know that I deal with this stuff. I'm this person, I'm on the stage, but I deal with the same things in your head that you do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've just been that. I've done that in my writing from the beginning, and I guess I feel like the conversation started getting a lot bigger and normalized in like 2018-ish, 19. I noticed a lot more songs on the radio and everything. So I had the conversation of mental health.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was inspired, and I felt able to do so as well. So I think, reducing the stigma around the conversation is really extremely important.
It helps a lot of people. And just with you going on tour and having such a crazy schedule, I know a couple weeks ago, like Arlo Parks had to say, hey, for my mental health, I have to cancel a few dates. I'm sorry. You don't get it's like push, do this. How do you take care of yourself and keep focusing on your mental and physical health when you are a booming star?
You laughed. You were like,
Well, I mean,
it's hard.
For me, like, I remember the last tour I was on, even I'm really, it's easy for me to lock myself away in a hotel room or in the bus or isolate myself a lot on days off or in between whatever. And I've been trying really hard to like be with my band and be around people.
Force
myself to
socialize,
to be outside of my room and not just isolate myself, because then I get really lonely and I start spinning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been trying really hard, and my band's like my second family. So they're really great, and we can take care of each other, and we go to breakfast or go to dinner, but we're helping each other out.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you have Marshall too.
And you have Marshall.
You got Marshall.
No, for real. I remember we got we got to the hotel
Which
after,
just kind of feels like home, I guess, some days.
Yeah, after we went to the state fair here.
Oh, fun! fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I got home from that and I was so anxious being around so many people. And I opened the door and I saw Marshall and I was like so relieved and just
Aw.
like thank God I have you here. But I do have another dog, Mello, and
Yeah.
I really miss him.
I
Aw.
love Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
I love it. I
Marshmallow,
love
that's
But
sweet.
the Mello came first.
Okay.
This is just one more random question. I just saw your necklace. It is
yeah.
awesome.
Thank you so
Is that somebody that you know in your necklace?
That's my grandma Loretta. She passed away August 2020.
That's so sweet.
Thank you so much.
That's did you wear that last weekend? Because I mean, I briefly saw you walk by last weekend, and I don't think I noticed.
I'm not
it.
sure I had it on last weekend. I don't think I did wear it last weekend, but now I have it on.
Now it's a
That's
special weekend.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Look
amazing.
for better.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
more
I usually have it on.
special performance.
Well,
today.
I hope that she brings you the best of luck.
Thank you
You're
so
playing
much.
today, 2:30 American Express.
Yes.
Right?
yes.
Okay, cool.
I
Got
just
that.
looked to confirm.
Yeah, you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yes.
I'm like,
yes.
No,
yes.
no cussing on the radio. Make sure I'm playing on the stage at the right time. I guess last thing before we wrap, as an artist, as someone who's so ingrained in the music industry, it's important to like really ask the hard-hitting questions that listeners want to know when it comes to the creative process. And I would just have to say, like, what is the dumbest instrument and why? Like, it,
Dumbest
yeah,
instrument?
something you just don't want on an album or to play, if there is one.
I don't think there is one. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't know. We tried a lot of instruments on my album.
That's got to be the fun part
yeah,
too.
yeah. We just ordered a washboard. And
Oh, that's
like,
fun.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So I
classic.
mean, I'm trying like everything. I do shakers full of pills. I don't know if there is a dumb instrument. Every instrument adds something.
If you ask my fiance, it's anything I'm trying to play.
Aw.
Other top answer, we've got the triangle,
Yeah.
but I like the triangle.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of rude to triangle players. So
Right? They
you
they
know?
spent their whole life calling
Learning
people to come
play
in.
the fucking triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the instruments are great.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.